What's good, Faith family? It is your girl, LA, and you guessed it, we are on our first ride of 2025. Finally. But listen, this content creating thing and riding on the open road on a Can-Am Spyder is not for the faint of heart. It is not an easy task. It is not an easy thing that God has called me to do and put my hands to do. And so I'm learning and growing. I tell you guys, with every ride that I embark upon, with every adventure, it is an adventure of fearless faith. Okay? I just need y'all to understand that, especially my new riders, because when you are trying to capture footage to encourage people and to mentor and to just, show you guys what it means to ride a Can-Am Spyder on the open road from someone who has never really done anything like this before, someone that's new to it. I still consider myself a newbie. I'm still learning and growing, in riding my Can-Am Spyder on the open road, but I do have some skills, and I'm strengthening my faith in it with every ride. And so, this ride right here was although it should have been a relaxing ride for me, it was a little stressful because, we couldn't get any of the equipment, our helmets to sync up, and my camera equipment, the Cena mesh port, which connects the communication between my husband and I so you guys can actually hear us talking while we're riding. That was not working. My husband's helmet wasn't working when we started out. He couldn't hear me. It was just a lot of stuff going on. Okay, to the point where we had planned on leaving for this ride. I think around 9 o'clock. We didn't leave till 10:30 something because we spent time in the garage just trying to figure out what was going on. So I said all of that to say, if you are a new rider watching this video, I do not want to stress you out and confuse you thinking that this is something that you have to do when you ride. Okay, just enjoy the ride. Okay, just enjoy the ride. But I believe sharing is caring, and I thought I would share with you guys just what takes place when we are getting ready to go out on a ride. Okay, so anyway, stay tuned because here goes.
The angle facing you works. You.
Yeah, but this is not going to work for tomorrow.
What do you mean? No, for tomorrow, honestly, I wouldn't be dealing with all this. I just put a battery in it. And any power should work because the battery is trickle charged on the USB-C power, and the camera's running.
So the battery should keep the camera, keep the battery charged.
Yeah. But as far as running it without battery power, then you got to have the right cable and cable orientation for the firmware to say, yes, I'm getting clean power.
Okay, so your job, if you choose to accept,
I don't have a job.
Is
my job. You can't afford me.
I know I can't.
Okay.
But there's some perks to being married to you.
Is there though?
That's a thick cord.
Oh, I see. So
And to add stress to an already stressful situation, I looked down and realized that something had been eating on my bike. And so now none of my camera equipment is working. And now something has been eating on my bike, and we're getting ready to do this ride the next day. You're talking about stressed out. So we're getting ready to leave. It's the next day, and we geared up, we're mounted up, we're getting ready to head out. And, your girl trying to get a prayer on, because we always pray before we leave out on a ride. And I'm telling y'all, I was so discombobulated with everything that took place the night before. Couldn't get the cameras to act right, the audio, to stay charged. And then before we leave out on the ride, our helmets were not, the firmware was not updated. They didn't do a rollout to tell anybody that they had this major firmware update on the Cena headsets. And it was just a mess. But God, I believe every ride is ordered by God. And so, the delays that took place, I had to say to myself, okay, Lord, you'll redeem the time, and whatever you are holding us up from, I receive it. We just going to be blessed in it, and we just going to ride in it, and we just going to know that this day is going to work out for our good and his glory. And it did. But I tell you what, before we got started, it was stressful. It was stressful, but that's the life of a Can-Am Spyder Ryder when you are creating content. But let's get into this ride and discuss exactly why we decided to do this particular ride. So finally, we started to get out into the ride, and yes, leaving out at 10:30, quarter to 11, that put us in the thick of it. Lunchtime traffic, and out in our neck of the woods, they are doing a lot of road construction, a lot of building up, because everybody wants to move to Texas. So they need some place to live. And so now we're finding all of this development taking place out in the rural areas. But there are still some uncharted places to ride, and we tend to find them every now and again. And so, we're headed out in that direction. But before we can get there, we got to deal with all of this traffic and construction. But let me get into why we decided to ride this particular route. I have decided this year for 2025 to venture out. It has been on my heart for a long time to just do some riding with fellow female Can-Am Spyder Ryders. And so Dee and I have been talking about it, bouncing some ideas off of each other, and decided that this is what we want to do. Or shall I say, this is what I'm going to do. And so, the assignment for this ride was to pre-ride this route that I was interested in doing. I think it's like 87 miles. Pre-ride it to just see how this particular route would work for me and a group of women riding together. And found out a lot of interesting things about this route that gave me pause for concern. So far, so good. The route looked great. And beautiful rural area, cattle, farmland, all that good stuff. Nice gas station right there if we need to pull over and take a little, bio break. But we get to this intersection. I think this was crossing over 290, and there's 2 lanes going and 2 lanes coming. So with a section in the center where you have to stop. And guys, ladies, people, I don't know if I want to tackle that with people behind me. Reason being, everyone can't cross all at once because we are crossing over 4 lanes with a medium or, a section that you stop at in between. And, on top of that, you want to make sure that everyone has communication so everyone will be in sync on crossing safely and just, navigating this type of highway crossing. So, like I said, pause for concern. And then there's the interstate. Oh, yes. The dreaded interstate that a lot of newbies might not feel comfortable with riding just yet. I did a couple of videos on, building up your skills and your courage to ride on the interstate, so check those videos out. But in the meantime, in between time, this particular interstate that we were on, I think this was actually 290. It takes you up, and away. Okay. The height is high up in the air. And, it's a little scary at the speed we were going. And really, I don't care how fast or slow you were going. It is high. Okay. It's up there and it will literally take your breath away. It is beautiful. But again, I'm thinking about other riders beside myself that may not be comfortable with, for one, riding on the interstate at speeds that you need to ride on the interstate at. And on top of that, riding on these type of overpaths. So yeah, like I said, second pause for concern. Well, here we are, back in our neck of the woods. This is my first ride of 2025, a recon adventure to see if I'm up for an 87-mile ride to one of my favorite eateries for lunch with a few female Can-Am Spyder Ryders. Yes, this year I made it a goal to strengthen my faith in the area of independence. Riding by myself with other female Can-Am Spyder Ryders. I want to build a community of women of faith who want to ride together, share their faith with one another, share our lessons, challenges, and all the things that we go through as women who ride on the open road and have chosen to ride on Can-Am Spyders. As a female rider, I believe as a rider on the open road who has chosen to ride a Can-Am Spyder, at some point you will get to the place where you want to test your faith in the area of independence. And for me, that's riding with other female Can-Am Spyder Ryders. I want to ride with my Wind Sisters. There is a sisterhood that we need to tap into every so often to remind ourselves of who we are as women of faith and who we believe in as women of faith. It's said that we are strengthened by our testimonies. And so, having that opportunity to share the things that we go through as women of faith who ride on the open road, this is going to allow us to share the lessons and all the things that we learn as we ride on the open road as new riders and even veteran riders, and encourage one another. As women who have chosen to ride Can-Am Spyders, there are things that we go through in life off the bike that makes life on the bike that much sweeter. And so this year, I want to do that. I want to share those words of wisdom and encouragement, and so we can build each other up for the next ride. So that's my goal for 2025, to create opportunities for women of faith to ride together in solidarity, to share our wisdom, our faith, and the lessons that we've learned so we can build each other up, so we can fuel each other, for the good ride of faith. Now, getting back to this ride, this 87 miles that we just did, it was absolutely beautiful. But we're going to have to adjust it because, again, I'm building my faith and building my courage to do something like this. And so, when you're planning these rides and you're doing recon rides to check out the route, you want to make sure that everyone is comfortable in the ride. And so, with that being said, you guys know that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. And it is because of that we're going to revise this route so we can ride the good ride of faith. I love you guys. I pray that you will have a super fantastic riding season. Keep me in prayer as we work on these routes and work all of these upgrades out and all of this stuff, and get all this technical stuff together. But in the meantime, in between time, I love you guys, and thank you so much for tuning in.